Tell me about Columbus.
In 1492, Columbus made the first of 4 trips to the Caribbean on 3 Spanish ships named the Nina, Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Tell me about the Pilgrims.
In 1620, the Pilgrims sailed from Plymouth, England, and signed the Mayflower Compact. Before founding Plymouth Colony in North America.
Tell me about the Boston Tea Party.
In 1773, colonists disguised as Mohawks dumped tea from the British East India Company to the Boston Harbor.
Tell me about the Declaration of Independence.
In 1776, Continental Congress published the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia, announcing the colonists intend to separate from England.
Tell me about George Washington.
In 1789, in New York, George Washington was granted the full powers and responsibilities of the presidencies by the U.S. Constitution.
Tell me about the Louisiana Purchase.
In 1803, the purchase of Louisiana from France prompted westward exploration by pioneers such as Lewis and Clark and Congressman Davy Crockett.
Tell me about the Monroe Doctrine.
After victory in the War of 1812, the United States wrote the Monroe Doctrine, which warned Europeans not to attempt to colonize the Americas after victory.
Good job. Tell me about the Missouri Compromise.
In 1820, Henry Clay worked out the Missouri Compromise, allowing Missouri to enter the Union as a slave state and Maine as a free state.
Tell me about the secession of the Southern states.
Okay. The Compromise of 1850, the Fugitive to Slave Act, and the Dred Scott decision preceded the secession of the Southern states.
Tell me about Manifest Destiny.
President Polk believed that the Mexican War and against and purchase in the mid-1800s affirmed America's manifest destiny to spread across the continent.
Tell me about the Civil War.
In 1861, the Civil War began when President Abraham Lincoln went to war with the sovereign states that had seceded from the Union.
Tell me about General Robert E. Lee.
In 1865, General Robert E. Lee surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia.
Tell me about the 14th Amendment.
In 1868, the 14th Amendment made all former slaves U.S. citizens and paved the way the civil rights movement.
Good. Tell me about tycoons.
During the late 1800s, tycoons like Roosevelt, Rockefeller, Carnegie, and Swift fueled the nation's industrial age by developing American resources.
Tell me about immigrants coming to America.
From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom and the opportunity to increase their personal wealth.
Tell me about the United States and World War I.
In 1917, President Wilson asked Congress to enter World War I against the Central Powers. 2 years after German U-boat sank the Lusitanian, killing American citizens.
Tell me about the 19th Amendment.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony led the women's suffrage movement in the United States, resulting to the 19th Amendment in 1920 that granted women the right to vote.
Good. Tell me about Pearl Harbor.
On December 7, 1941, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, causing the United States to join the Allies in World War II.
Tell me about NATO.
In 1949, the United States and its allies formed NATO to resist the spread of Soviet communism.
Tell me about Brown versus Board of Education.
In Brown versus Board of Education, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that segregation of public schools by race is unconstitutional.
And what year was that?
In 1954, in Brown versus Board of Education, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that segregation of public schools by race is unconstitutional.
Tell me about U.S. astronauts.
In 1969, U.S. astronauts Neil Armstrong and Edwin Aldrin were the first men to walk on the moon.
Tell me about September 11th, 2001.
In September 11, 2001, terrorists hijacked 4 airplanes. They flew into the World Trade Center in New York City, 1 into the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And the 4th plane crashed into a Pennsylvania field on September 11, 2001.
Tell me the preamble to the U.S. Constitution.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. All done.
Okay. Tell me the Bill of Rights.
Freedoms, own guns, quartering, soldiers, Bill of Rights, warrants, cannot testify against self. Bill of Rights, right to a speedy trial, right to